come from a family of women. Of course there are men in the family too, but I'm referring to my mother's side of the family. My mother had 4 sisters, and as a little girl I remember thinking how different all of my aunts looked. They all had classic black features, the kinky hair, the broader nose, the fuller lips, but in different ways and to varying degrees. Sometimes people would see the 4 of them or the 5 of them together, and they wouldn't realize that they were sisters. That's how different they all looked, although they do have the same father and mother. But to me, they were all beautifully colored, and they had earned a nickname in the area where we were growing up. People called them the butt sisters because their bottoms were so big. But I remember being so proud of them. I was proud that they were black. I was proud that they were intelligent. I was proud of their figures. And I looked forward to the day when I was going to be all that they were. Black and beautiful and smart, strong, hardworking, funny, talented, and resilient. I could go on and on and on and on, singing the praises of the women in my family, but that's not the point of my video. I'm certainly not trying to make a video bragging about the black women in my family. I'm trying to make a point about all black women in general, because the things that I saw in the black women that I'm related to, I see, for the most part, in the average black woman. I can remember once, when I was getting my hair braided when I was a little girl, one of my aunts made a snide remark to me about my complexion. She told me that I needed to lay out in the sun more often, and to make sure that I never let any skin lightener near me. She was joking, but I was a little girl and I was hurt. I was devastated. I remember just falling silent, and I didn't say anything else while she braided my hair. But when she was done, I went into the bathroom and I started crying. I was just so hurt that she had said that. I was very fair complected when I was a little girl. I'm light now, but I was really light when I was a child, and I was probably the lightest one in my family. I have a cousin who's very fair complexion too, but for some reason, my light skin was the topic of conversation more than once. And it always made me feel incredibly uncomfortable, and it made me feel as if some of the people in my family were attempting to isolate me. It always pained me, because to me, complexion is an unnecessary divide where black women are concerned. It was when I was a child, and it is now. And as a child, I had not heard of the concept of sisterhood or the sister circles. I would hear black women loosely refer to themselves or one another as a sister or sisters, but I never really understood just how significant that was until I got older and was impacted by how the world perceived black women. But in my heart and in my head, without me having a term for the bond that black women have, I was already there. I was already in my head and heart committed to black women on a lot of different levels. No difference in skin tone could put a wedge between me and the way I perceived black women. No difference in skin tone could put a wedge between me and black women, period. I am, by my nature, drawn to black women. Not sexually, but emotionally and psychologically, I am tied to black women. When I think about the worst things that have taken place in my life, I always remember that it was strong black women, strong black girlfriends, or family members, or people in my community, or, sometimes people in my church. They were the ones who always gave me comfort and advice. Black women always seemed to possess the ability to put me on the road to healing. No problem seemed too large for black women to fix. I attribute that to black women being earth mothers. We seem to know more and are able to do more. I think God put the ability in black women when He created us to be able to mother and nurture not only ourselves, but all people. Oprah Winfrey, and I love Oprah, but to me, she's not exceptional. She's exceptional in that she's a successful businesswoman, but what she possesses that makes her such a success, I think the average black woman possesses. Oprah's gifts are gifts of loving and healing and nurturing, helping and fixing, and she is able to revamp and to solidify. Some people call her a mammy for this, but I think we as black women know that there is no shame in being a mammy or a mammy figure, unless, of course, this mammy figure refuses to nurture her own daughters. But Oprah Winfrey possesses the gifts that I think the average black woman possesses. The gifts to lead and to heal and to make things that are wrong right. I can't think of a single black woman that doesn't possess these gifts on some level. Now, some sisters haven't tapped into their potential, but I really think that God has put it in all of us. I cannot think of a single black woman that has angered me to the degree where I have hated her. Now, don't get me wrong. I have met some foul sisters. I have met some nasty sisters who almost should have been thrown out of the sister circle. But I'm not going to lie. I cannot develop any type of hatred for black women. I cannot entertain any type of deep-seated ill will toward black women. I simply can't. I'm too tied to black women. My love for black women overpowers any resentment or anger. I'm old enough to know that I need black women too much. I need my sisters too much. We need each other too much. I have been helped by black women who did not even know me at times in my life. And I've helped black women that I have not known. And I think that is how it should be. We should remain each other's keepers and healers. There's a verse in the Bible, and even for those people who aren't Bible believers, it's just a common verse, and it touches upon being responsible for one another. It's are you your brother's keeper? And I think that we should be our sister's keepers. We should never allow any situation or any man or any tactic or even any spirit to create an unbridgeable wedge between us. Black women are the keepers of culture. We are the creative ones, not just for black people, but for the entire world. We are the mothers who possess the power to bring about change on large scales and large levels. We can fix and we can break. We can build and we can tear down. We can love better than anyone and we can hate more than anyone. Black women, we are God's first woman, and I know that we will be His last woman. But we need to remember that we possess the power to hurt one another, and that stumps us from fulfilling our collective divine purpose. As black women, we have to keep the sister circle alive, and we have to respect the bonds of black womanhood, even if we at times feel disconnected from other black women because of circumstances or situations and circumstances where we're angry. They're short-lived, but the black woman bond, it's permanent, it's forever. If we're ever going to reclaim our rightful places as queens of humanity and regain our titles as earth mothers, we're going to have each other's backs. Nothing can separate me from my sisters. Nothing can make me love black women any less. Nothing can separate me from other black women. And I hope and pray that one day all black women feel this way.